Street food doesn't have to be all about meat. It can be vegan and turn out so good. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make fried cassava and kachumbari, which is a very popular Kenyan street food, and it's so delicious. To make the fried cassava is going to be very easy, and also I'm going to be making some kachumbari to serve with my fried cassava. So you'll start off by washing your cassava on the outside until it's clean, because it's going to be less messy when you're peeling the cassava. So using a sharp knife, I'm going to divide my cassava into 4 portions. Once done, this is how the cassava is going to be looking on the inside. As you can see, the cassava has a very thick skin on the outside, which is brownish in color, and the inside is white with the fibrous roots in the middle that we're going to be removing after boiling. So I'm going to peel my cassava. So I'm going to place the rest aside, and using my knife, I'm going to make a slit on your cassava just like this. Then I'm going to get under the skin by carefully lifting up the skin. Then using my fingertips, I'm going to peel, and it's going to be very easy for me to peel the cassava. So I'm going to repeat until I'm done with the rest of the cassava. You can see how easy it's going to be when peeling the cassava. Then next, you're going to pick your cassava and run your knife in the middle, just like this, and into quarters. And then I'm going to cut the rest. You can see the cassava is not messy at all because I thoroughly washed the outside. So I'm going to get straight into boiling my cassava. So I'll move over to my stove top and place a pot over medium flame. And then I'm going to add in enough water to submerge my cassava. Carefully drop in my cassava. Make sure all the cassavas are underwater. Add in a little bit of salt, around a teaspoon. Then I'm going to cover and let the cassava boil for around 10 to 15 minutes or until it's tender. Cassava is a tuber that grows underground and it's very starchy. That means that it's very filling. Also, it aids in weight loss because it's high in protein and has lots of fiber. That means that your digestive system is going to be smooth. Using cold water to boil your cassava is going to ensure that it cooks evenly. And because I added in a little bit of salt, we are going to perfectly season the cassava. When your cassava is ready, you're going to drain off the water. And this is how my cassava is looking. As you can see, it's falling apart on the edges. That means that it's ready. So I'm going to cover, put out the flames, and then I'm going to drain off the water. Transfer the cooked cassava into my bowl so that it can cool a little bit. Place my cassava aside, and while my cooking oil is getting ready, I'm going to be making kachumbari, which is a salad that is very popular here in Kenya. So we usually serve it with the cassava, and it's so good. So I'm going to start off with 1 onion. Pick a bowl, place in my kachumbari. Finely dice my onion. Transfer to my bowl. Then next I'm going to be chopping up 2 tomatoes. I'm going to remove the pit slice and dice. Once done, I'm going to place into my bowl and chop up some coriander. So next I'm going to be adding in some salt to fully season your kachumbari. Toss all the ingredients together and your kachumbari is ready to enjoy with your cassava. Once done, you're going to place your kachumbari aside. Then you're going to pick your cassava. Remember I told you that the cassava has a fibrous core, so that is what I'm going to be removing. I'm going to pick a knife and then I'm going to remove the fibrous core. I'm going to place on a plate, and it's going to be very easy for you because the cassava is tender. I'm done removing the fiber from the cassava. So the next step is to fry the cassava. So I'm going to pick a skimmer and place in my cassava. Then I'm going to carefully drop into my cooking oil. Then you're going to fry your cassava for around 3 to 4 minutes until it has a very nice golden brown color on the outside and it's crispy. This is after 4 minutes of frying my cassava, and as you can see, it's getting that lovely golden brown color that we're looking for, and it's also crispy on the outside. So I'm going to use my skimmer and shake off the excess oil, transfer to a plate lined with kitchen paper towel. Then I'm going to add in my next round. And over here I have cayenne powder, which I'm going to be adding to my cassava, and it's quite optional, but if you're used to eating spicy food, it will be so delicious on your cassava. I've already plated my kachumbari together with some cucumber for some crunch. So the next thing is going to plate up my very delicious cassava. I'm going to add in some cayenne powder to some of my cassava pieces. Gorgeous. Don't forget to sprinkle some salt once the cassava is from the cooking oil. Serving cassava with kachumbari is not optional because cassava is quite dry. So the kachumbari is going to make it very juicy and so delicious. Over here, I have plain cassava that I'm going to be enjoying with some tea, and it's going to be so good. So this recipe is totally worth trying because, yeah, everything looks so good and delicious.